Pastor Karl, welcome to the program.
Good morning, Michael and Gina. What is the good word?
Guacamole.
Oh, tons of guacamole. Oh.
I don't know if you realize this, Karl, but we also have Colleen Shoemaker in studio with us today.
That is wonderful. Colleen, try to sit between them. If you can.
Yep. Good morning.
Good morning. Actually, I did know that Colleen was there, and that led me on my journey this week, my virtual journey as it was, to Cleveland. You know, it has been my privilege to be the pastor for the Shoemakers during what you'll talk about, and I want to steal Colleen's thunder or the story, but as you'll unfold, the absolute incredible miracle that Tommy Shoemaker was and is and certainly will be as time goes on. And that transplant, which was his, really got me looking into how grace is revealed in organ transplants. And not only with Tommy, but with some others, it has been this incredible pastoral privilege of mine to be present when people have had to make those decisions on the donation side. When life is about ebbed away, when trauma and disaster has struck and just horrific events, and how God rescues even those most disastrous events. And there are some that I would personally tell, we'll have to save those for another time because I don't have some of the permissions and some of the conversations I want to have with people beforehand. But I did find a wonderfully marvelous story that I would invite our listeners to tune into on YouTube. And it's from Cleveland, Ohio. So today I'm in Gainesville this morning, but the story comes from Cleveland, Ohio, and it is the story of Chris Henry. For those who don't know, Chris Henry is a basketball. Oh my goodness, he's a football player who died for the Cleveland Browns, who was killed tragically in a car accident. That's another story. But if you go to YouTube for Chris Henry's Legacy Lives On, or Michael and Gene, if you guys want to post that, you'll see a marvelous story of how CBS Sports illustrated how his mom made the decision to use his organs to donate to others at the point and impact of his death. Can you imagine how difficult a decision that is, suffering through that trauma and having to make that decision?
Yeah, he was killed suddenly in a car accident back in 2009, and I remember it. I remember watching some of the broadcasts that you're talking about, and we absolutely will be having them up online. But it was an extraordinary story. It's
an extraordinary story, and you'll notice that JB, the sports announcer who actually leads into the story, can't finish it. He's so moved by emotion and tears. And it is such a powerful story, and they give witness not only to the way in which life is granted at that moment in time in the midst of death, but also provide such a wonderful gospel handle. I mean, the Scriptures just overflow to talk about how Christ lives in us, and the story that's up, from YouTube, from Chris Henry, what his mom did, and the way in which 4 families' lives were changed forever because of a pancreas, a liver, and lungs that he gave up. It's just a wonderful gospel handle of how no one has ever seen God, but if we love one another, God lives in us, and his love is made complete in us.
Yeah,
Colleen, you certainly understand the nature of that, how life has been granted, not only in Christ, but, boy, to that young man, Tommy, don't you know?
Yes, absolutely, a second chance.
We see in the media example of this kind of from time to time, and in a couple of minutes after our break here, we absolutely are going to delve into that in great detail with the Shoemaker family. We're going to be able to have our listeners meet personally somebody who has been on the receiving end of that incredible donation of life.
Gift of life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's just marvelous, and the fact that our listeners would know not only does that occur in organ donation, but that's the gift of life that Christ has given to us, and in the same way that Tommy lives on, that others in this story live on, is the same way in which we live on because of what Christ has done, is he has given himself for us, that same sacrificial gift. So just a wonderful gospel handle, and what a joy to know that the Shoemaker family knows both sides of that as well. Isn't that a joy?
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Pastor Karl, as long as I have you on, I know that you, like myself, grew up a Bears fan. And if we step away from organ donation for a moment and get into the trivial, it's Super Bowl Sunday. Are you even going to be able to watch the Green Bay Packers?
You know, it's sort of interesting, isn't it, Michael? I'm going to have to part company with you. There's two schools of thought.
No.
One is to cheer for the team that beats the Bears,
right,
and the other is to join with them because it elevates the Bears. So I'm pulling for the Packers for two reasons. Number one is they beat the Bears, and so I want the team to be Super Bowl champs that beat the Bears.
Yeah.
Number two is they are the craziest fans in the world.
Yeah.
Anybody who would wear a wedge of cheese on their head has my respect.
Well, I don't know. I've seen you at New Year's Eve parties, so I don't know if you can.
Michael.
All right. Well, Pastor Karl, thank you. We speak with you every Saturday morning on your Grace Revealed segment, and another terrific week. We will talk with you in 7 days, sir.
It is my pleasure. Thanks be to God for your ministry and Colleen for your gift of life.
Thanks, Pastor Karl.
Thank you.
Bye now.